Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna have a lot of fun. It is pumpkin spice season and we are gonna let the games begin. Today we're gonna make pumpkin cheesecake cake pops. And I'm so excited about this. We're gonna make this together because I'm doing this for the first time today and I haven't tried this recipe before, which is kind of something I never do when I'm making these videos because I need to know what to expect. But we're gonna do this together for the first time. But before we do that, I want to take a moment and really thank you guys for your likes and your comments on our videos. That helps us out so much and we appreciate that so much. So please keep that up. And also we do pay attention to all of the comments here. So let us know what you've enjoyed seeing in our channel, what you'd like to see more of, and what questions you have. So maybe we can get some of those things handled in upcoming videos for you because you're the ones we make the videos for in the first place. So we'd love to hear from you what you would like to see. And with that, you guys, let's go ahead and get this started. So what we're going to use today is we're going to use our seasonal pumpkin spice Formula 1. There are 14 flavors every single day to choose from. There's literally something for absolutely everyone. But a couple of times a year, they pop out a seasonal limited edition flavor for us. And when they're gone, they're just gone. So right now, pumpkin spice is available and we're going to rock it. So we're going to use 1 cup of this. So it's about 8 servings. So you could measure out, let's see, 2 scoops is 1/4 of a cup. I'm sorry, it's 4 servings. So you could measure out 8 scoops with the scoop that's in here, or you could just grab a 1 cup measuring cup and measure it that way. So we're gonna use a cup of this. We are also going to use 4 tablespoons of our protein drink mix. And the protein drink mix, you guys, is amazing. And this doesn't just add protein to whatever you're using it for. We use this all the time in our shakes. This is kind of the protein base for our shakes. And this is how we customize the protein to make sure that you get what you need. But this is not just protein. It is loaded with 21 essential vitamins and minerals, which essential means your body can't make them and you need them to survive. So they have to come into your body somehow from your diet, what you're eating every day. So this has 21 essential vitamins and minerals, no sugar, and plenty of protein. So we're going to use 4 tablespoons of that. We're going to use a little bit of vanilla. We're going to use a total of 1 cup of water, but it's divided use, so you want to pay attention to how that gets folded in. And 1 package of sugar-free, cheesecake flavored pudding mix. So that's what we're going to use. Let's go ahead and get this mixed up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix all of the ingredients together and only the first 1/2 cup of water. So we're going to start with 1 cup of our pumpkin spice Formula 1. And you can use any flavor combo you really want here. Today we're going to use pumpkin spice and 4 tablespoons of our vanilla protein drink mix. The entire box of the Jell-O pudding. Just going to put it all in there together. And I'm going to mix this up a little bit just to get the powders combined with each other before we put the water in. And I apologize, we're doing a voiceover here because when I first recorded this whole video, my microphone didn't record any audio. So we're doing voiceover on this. So I'm also going to just go ahead and add that vanilla right into the water before I mix it in and combine that. Then I'll put the water into the powder combination. And now we're just going to stir this and stir this and stir this, and you're probably going to want to add more water, but don't do it. We're going to keep mixing until we get it just like fine little pebbles, almost looks like sand. So just keep mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. Kind of cutting it in. If you're a baker and you've made pastry before, you're familiar with this process. Just mix and mix and mix until it gets tiny little balls. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use our next 1/4 of a cup of water. So you want to put that into a small container, probably a glass. You don't really want to use a shallow bowl, and you'll see why later. But and now we're also going to take 1/4 of a cup of the crumb mixture that we already made with all the powders and the water. 1/4 of a cup put it into that 1/4 cup of water, and we're going to mix this until it's as smooth as it can get, and this is going to wind up being your frosting. And you'll see why later you want to put this in a glass rather than a bowl, because we're going to be dipping the cake pops down into this. Mix it and get it just as smooth as you can. And once it thickens up and gets smooth, we're just going to set this aside and we'll use it later. Now we're going to get that bowl of crumb mixture back, and we're going to use the final 1/4 cup. We're going to add it to what's in the bowl here. And now this is where you're really going to want to add more water, but you just want to keep working it, folding it and pressing it until this blends up as smooth as possible. And this does take a few minutes. I sped right through this and I cut a whole bunch of it out of the video. It probably took a solid 5 minutes to get this all worked in. So just be patient and keep working at it. You're going to smush it and press it and ball it up and just try to get that moisture moved evenly through all of that powder combination. This is a really great time to use a rubber spatula if you have it. A spoon or a fork doesn't quite work as well. Next, we're going to grab a sheet of parchment paper or some freezer paper. Plastic wrap would also work if that's all you have. And we're just going to mix these into, or just going to roll these into little balls. Whatever size you choose is great. I just used a teaspoonful. As you're rolling them, you want to kind of press them together really well so that they don't break apart. So smushing them in and then roll them is what seemed to work best here. And once you've gotten them all rolled out, we're going to put them either in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 hours or in the freezer for about 30 minutes once you get them all rolled out. And the ones that I had, I put them in the freezer, and I had them in there for almost exactly 30 minutes. When they came out, they're nice and firm. But not hard. They're not frozen hard. They're just nice and firm. Now we're going to go ahead and dip them in that frosting that we set aside earlier. So pull that out, mix it back up, make sure it hasn't set up any. If it's got any lumps in it, try to smush them out and make this just as smooth as you can. Mine, I didn't quite get smooth enough and the clumps were a little problematic, but we made it work anyway. Also make sure that you have whatever serving plate you're going to use handy, because that's what you want to set them on. You're not going to want to move these around too much. They don't really move around very well. And so, also before I put them in the freezer, I just put toothpicks in them, and that way I could hold them. So you just dip them into your glass, get it all the way up to the top around the toothpick, and then put them on your serving tray. Again, put them on your serving tray where you want them to stay, because they're not going to move around without making a mess. And then just dip all of them. Once I got toward the bottom of the glass or the end of the balls, I needed to grab a spoon to make sure that I scooped stuff around to get the tops all the way covered. You want to make sure that the whole cake pop is completely covered with the frosting. On this frosting, if it's too thin, it's not going to stick very well, so make sure it's nice and thick. And then the final thing is just to decorate them. I had some of these autumn colored sprinkles. You can really use anything you want. You can use cookie crumbs, graham cracker crumbs, you can use sugar sprinkles, anything you like, and just coat them or cover them however you like. I just sprinkled it over the top. It seemed to work out really well, just for a little pop of color. And I really like the way these turned out looks-wise. Of course, you also could coat them with nothing at all. Just leave them in the frosting and eat them that way. And you guys, that's really just about all there is to it. It took a long time to do, and there's a lot of details, so pay attention to those details. But if you like this video, please give it a fat thumbs up and share it with someone you know who likes this kind of thing too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.